Good evening. Today I'll be talking about the change model Prochaska. So the Prochaska model is more about into the quitting bad habits like smoking, drinking, or drug addiction and stuff. So basically, a person when he's like fed up and he wants to quit smoking or drinking, yeah, it can help him with this model, and it has been helped a lot of people around. So like the solution via the model, like there are 6 stages in this model, like the pre-contemplation, the contemplation, preparation or action, maintenance, termination, and recycling. The first stage is like the pre-contemplation. A person is not even thinking about making a change. So in this stage, like in pre-contemplation, people underestimate the benefits of changing and overestimate the cons or costs, says Prochaska, but they are not particularly conscious of that and not so focused rational decision making process. So when a person is into this stage, a lot of people plenty of times have heard from the doctor, the spouse, and the friends or your own conscience that you should make a change, but you are not seriously considering doing anything about it anytime soon. So when you are ready or when you think you want to quit smoking, just think about it, have a potential value to it, and be positive about the stage. So once you're ready, you go to the second stage where a person has started thinking that making a change might be a good idea and is perhaps starting to make plans about how to implement those. Since contemplators are open to new information, they can build their enthusiasm for change by connecting to these core values or motivations, gathering information, exploring new perspectives, asking others about their experience, and learning from the examples of those who have already made these changes. All of this discovery process can help shift how the contemplator is thinking, an essential step for making forward the progress. So like in this stage, you are no longer opposed to make a change in your life, but you're still sitting on a fence. Your ears may perk up when you hear something talking about related to the subject, and you just try to move out of the subject or change the topic. So these are the things that happen when an individual is into this subject and in trying to do with these steps. Like when you are moving from the contemplation to preparation, where a person is taking concrete steps which will lead to changing the behavior, it's a great time to do the low commitment of work or envisioning your better self and your better life, perhaps journaling or making a vision board that represents the change you would like to accomplish. In this stage, at this point, the pros of making the change clearly outweigh the cons, but there's some work to be done before meaningful action can take place. In this stage, it's all about confidence and troubleshooting against the obstacles or weakness that stand the greatest chance of undermining it. This is a time to develop if or then plan for the various challenges and temptations you are likely to face when you make the change. People tend to get stuck in this preparation when they misjudge the level of readiness or impatiently jump to the straight action that can undermine the confidence and make them worry about trying it again. So this is about the 3 stages. The next 3 stages are, it's the maintenance, where a person maintains a change in the behavior through continued effort. So in this stage, when you are moving, there's a great time to hire a coach, or if you choose, like if you want someone to motivate you more or just make you that you should not be smoking, you need to maintain yourself and be confident about it. So like when you're moving from the preparation to the action stage or the termination stage, this is when you sign up for that class, attend to your support group or buy a health club or yoga studio membership or something like that. If you're determined to eat healthier, this might be when you start clearing junk food of your pantry and stocking out in the wholesome stuff. The action stage, it stays during the action stage when people are working to strengthen the commitment to the change. External support is critical, and even though they may not be inclined to ask for it, people in this stage benefit from offers of emotional and physical support and having people around them recognize their progress and help them keep accountable. But action is an ongoing process, so the focus here needs to be on progress, not perfection. You don't have to do everything flawlessly. You just have to keep cultivating the willingness and positive momentum that brought you this far. Look for ways to acknowledge your ongoing efforts to address new obstacles as they emerge and reward yourself for even small success. The last, like the maintenance stage, is like individuals in this stage have managed to stay in action for last at least 6 months. That means they have successfully avoided or overcome the obstacles and they are free from smoking. Through this practice, they have attained a greater level of confidence and capacity. Their new behaviors have started to become a more integrated part of their lifestyle and identity, and the risk of relapse is much lower than what they have begun earlier. So whenever you fall out of action for longer enough, there is a question about whether or not you will be back on track tomorrow. You're probably stepping out of maintenance and back into action, preparation, or even contemplation. So like from the maintenance to termination stage, treat obstacles and stay on the maintenance path for 2 years or more. Try to maintain yourself for that limit and try yourself that you should not be again getting hooked by smoking or any bad habit. And the termination stage, when the people in this stage continue their healthier behavior for at least 2 years, they enter into termination. The behavior change is completely integrated and the temptation to revert to the former behavior is entirely gone. This element of behavior change is no longer something you have to do. So this is where it's just a practical example, or an individual might be thinking about the stages, like when he is not ready, he is still thinking about it, then he's trying to do a preparation for action. At times when you are doing the action, you again fall down because you are not so confident. And then finally he's maintaining a good thing for your life when you're out of your smoking habits. So this is like just the negative. Smoking tobacco leads to many negative effects. I'm sure everyone knows about this, like it has many different types of cancer issues and health issues. The positive effect of not smoking includes fine motor skills, a better attention and an improved memory. Can improve short-term and concentration and aid digestion. Can increase mental focus and accuracy. The limitations for this model: the theory ignores the social context in which change occurs, such as income. The lines between the stages can be arbitrary with no set criteria of how to determine a person's stage of change. The questionnaires that have been developed to assign a person to a stage of change are not always standardized or validated. There is no clear sense for how much time is needed for each stage or how a long person can remain in a stage. That depends on an individual. The model assumes that individuals make coherent and logical plans in their decision-making process, when this is not always true. The trans-theoretical model, that is the change model by Prochaska, makes no assumption about how ready individuals are to change. It is applicable to only a single unhealthy behavior and does not consider the impact of other confounding health behaviors. The model is applicable only as enhancement of thinking about the change. The model does not differentiate between patients who are able to make lifelong change and those who are not. This model, how it can be used at an organizational level, like several authors have reflected on the underdeveloped stage of organizational change theory, research and practices. This field needs an integrative framework that can synthesize major approaches to change. The trans-theoretical model has the potential to do for organizational change what it has done for the individual behavioral change. And conceptually, the stages of change dimension can be used to integrate principles and process of change from divergent models of change. Practically, the stage of change dimension can be applied by leaders to reduce resistance, increase participation, reduce dropouts, and increase change progress among employees. The conclusion is the change model provides strategies for public health intervention to address people at various stages of decision-making process. This can result in interventions that are tailored and effective. The model encourages an assessment of an individual current stage and accounts for relapse in people's making process. Thank you.